What's up, you communist cocksuckers? Today we're talking about communism. But first, earlier this week, Steven Crowder was also banned from YouTube. CNN has also been lobbying to try and get rid of InfoWars. Yesterday, Lauren Southern and a couple of other right-wing journalists were detained at the UK border and weren't allowed to enter the country. Like Lauren Southern, like a straight-up G, spun it like a good thing. Next thing you know, she's sitting in front of the UN. Cheers, Lauren. So I couldn't find anything on Google about Lauren Southern, you know, a young Canadian girl talking to the UN for the first time. You think that'd be big news, right? Nope, nothing. I only found this on her Twitter page. Which brings me into what we're talking about next. The mass censorship that's coming to Canada. I promise this will all make sense in the end, but just pay attention. In the year 2000, President Bill Clinton criticized China about trying to censor their internet. He said it would be like trying to nail shit to the wall. Okay, he didn't say it like that. I made that up, but it sounded better than what he actually said. But that Chinese indomitable spirit persevered and they censored the shit out of that rice paddy. They have 9 different censorship organizations, all censoring their content. Now, whether that be political views or religious content or anything to do with democracy, student strikes, revolt, or anything to do with Tiananmen Square, they're censoring the shit out of these guys. I mean, can you imagine a couple of Chinamen just sitting there? Holy fuck. You mean other countries get to choose their leader? So that means they don't get any Facebook, any Twitter, any Google, none of that shit. Do you remember what fucking Trudy Poo had to say about China?
Of admiration I actually have for China. Because their basic dictatorship is allowing them to actually turn their economy around on a dime and say, we need to go green as fast as we need to start investing in solar. I mean, there is a flexibility that I know Stephen Harper must dream about of having a dictatorship that he could do everything he wanted. That I find quite interesting.
Now, you're probably asking, what the fuck does China have to do with Canada? Pierre Elliot Trudeau, who was friends with Fidel Castro, who is also possibly Justin Trudeau's dad. And we could get into the whole debacle about his mother running off with Mick Jagger. In the 2014-2015 Pierre Elliot Trudeau Foundation financial report, it thanks specifically event partners such as Suncor, Twitter, anonymous partners, Google. Enter the Pied Piper, Patrick Pritchett. He's the Executive Senior Vice President and Chief Financial Officer of Google Incorporated from 2008 to 2015. This fuck was also on the board of directors of the Pierre Elliot Trudeau Foundation. Trudy Poo thinks that Facebook needs to fix their integrity issues. I mentioned this in an earlier video if you remember. Now, if you take a look at when you archive certain articles on the Liberal website, okay, where there should be a Google indication, there's the Liberal one. Do you remember when Trump was running for president and you Googled Hillary Clinton? If you went on Google, it had all these different articles that made her look good. But if you went over to Bing, it had all this stuff that just made her look like a sinister cunt. Well, Trudeau is trying to do the same thing as we speak. We're only going to be able to search on Trugle.
The most innovative, forward-thinking tech company in the world.
I don't have to tell you where I got my inspiration from, first of all.
And this is exactly how he's going to bring it in. Do you remember this bitch? Climate Barbie? Well, people have been trolling her online, and she can't take it. Instead of trying to look like a good role model to her daughters and letting this shit roll off her back, she stops in the middle of a press conference with the rebel media to bitch about them.
So you're the rebel media that happens to call me Climate Barbie. I certainly hope that you will no longer use that hashtag.
Me personally, I never have, Minister.
And then she tries to monetize her victimhood. Another classic liberal move. Also, by the time I'm done making my videos and writing my song about Kathleen Wynne, she's probably going to drop out of the race. And then we're going to have to worry about a whole new face fucking jumping in there. If I was the Liberals, that's what I would do. So I figured I would do this video before my channel disappears too. For whoever the Liberals are censoring your content from, I'm guessing that $50 million in the federal budget that they're giving to a local journalism, I bet you that is going to be advertised all over Canada, but you won't be able to see it because the Liberals are blocking your content. You don't think Trudy Poo could be a communist? Let's take a look at his parents. Here's Pepe Pierre Elliot Trudeau. He was educated in a Jesuit school, and in 1969 and 70, he dated Barbra Streisand. He started the Pierre Elliot Trudeau Foundation with this symbol as its logo. And the FBI's, what I like to call the pedophiles, has this listed as the boy lover symbol. Now you can think it is a coincidence or not, it's up to you, but they're awfully identical. He becomes prime minister, installs a central bank by the Rothschilds. In 1981, he married Margaret Sinclair, who was known to be bipolar. So you have your mom and then your dad, who's twice her age. This is the interesting part here. In an article by Henry McCaw entitled, "Is Justin Trudeau a Product of Mind Control?" And there's quotes in there. I'll leave a link below so you can read it. But the couple were programmed with LSD in a remote farm in BC. Now, Mick Jagger, who has also been linked to little boys, was educated at the same School of Economics as Pierre Elliot Trudeau. After Margie ran off with Mick Jagger, Pierre Elliot Trudeau had a bit of a problem, so he asked for some help to raise his boys. Now, here's where it gets fucked up. Enter John Seeley, a self-proclaimed sadist and pedophile. He would fly up to Ottawa on weekends to advise Pierre on how he should be raising his 3 sons. You can look this stuff up yourself and find the same information. If I had to make a guess, I'd say that Pierre Elliot Trudeau was a pedophile. And he traded his wife to Fidel Castro for a little boy while learning how to become a communist while in their country. Then, when he got back here, and Margaret finally had a chance to run, she took off with the Rolling Stones while she had the chance, leaving Trudeau and his brothers to be raised by a famous pedophile. Now, if you were raised that way, would you be able to take over a communist country? Wouldn't you have maybe a grudge towards the Canadian public growing up, being ridiculed as a child, that your mommy ran off with the Rolling Stones? I don't know about you, but that one kid definitely looks like a victim. And that other little blonde Aryan kid, look at his face.
Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Is my dad's friend still sitting behind me? What the fuck am I gonna do? Holy shit. Look at that guy. Look how creepy that motherfucker is.
I don't know, people. When you keep looking into this shit, it gets more and more depressing. But I really don't want our country being taken over by the fucking globalist pedophiles. You can call me crazy if you want to, but look this shit up yourself and tell me what you think. I have to give credit to Little Gray Cells. Check out his content. I'll leave a link below. Well, that's it for today, folks. Like, subscribe. Peace out.